Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we complete a bracket challenge to determine the best value bourbon from an UPROXX article. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Lenny Eckstein, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey guys.
What's happening?
Hats off to the UPROXX crew for once again creating a banger article. Man, they're killing it over there. So we'll be using that today. They are on fire. We'll be using that today to sort out what is ultimately the best value bourbon as they've lined out. So there's 8 of them, and then we'll go through and do a bracket challenge to determine which one we think is the best. And then we'll compare it to what they thought was best, and it should be some fun. We'll get to that, though, after the break. For right now, Tim was saying there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Tim?
All right, so I think it's pretty well known that I threw a graduation party for my middle kid, and for dessert this time, I got a lot of shit for not having cake.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants the cake in the summer. They always say, give me a small piece, and you end up having a half a sheet cake left, and you're sitting there hating life 4 days later eating cake on your fat ass on the couch watching Yellowstone. Okay. I'm basically describing my Wednesday night. So this time, the general decided to go a different route, and she bought a bunch of little Debbie snack cakes, this, that, and the other. We basically just raided the whole entire snack shop. Now, Lenny, I know you're not going to have an opinion because you put honey on grass and call it fucking dessert. So that's fine. So it's okay to not have an opinion on high fructose corn syrup and all that shit. But if you were a little Debbie snack one, if you sit there with a whole spread out there, what do you think you'd be grabbing? And we had Nutty Buddies and Snowballs and Twinkies and Hostess and we had a whole spread. People are going nuts for it. It was awesome.
Really. This worked out well.
Star Crunch, strawberry rolls, the whole shebang. Zingers were even out there still. Believe it.
Star Crunches, those were my jam in 3rd grade. Our teacher used to hand those out. I love those things. Man.
Huh.
So if you were at one, what would you go for? I'd be curious to see what your preferred snack would be.
Yeah.
And
So as a kid here in St. Louis, one of the field trips we got to do, I probably did it 3 times through elementary school, was go to the Hostess bakery.
Factory. Okay.
The factory and get the tour. And they had the little train that would take you through, and you got to ride the train and look at them making everything, and at the end, you'd go to the room and you could pick one of anything.
Oh,
one of anything, and it was always a big decision because I like the cupcakes, I like the ding dongs, even a fan of the ho ho. But when I was sitting there, I thought, what is the largest snack cake that I can get?
The chocolate aisle,
the Suzy Q.
The Suzy Q.
2 chocolate or devil's food cakes with just the cream center, and it would get stuck all over your hands. There was no plastic version of icing on the outside.
Yeah.
But
Cool's a fan of the ding dong.
Yeah,
It's just to reiterate, let the record state that Tim has just entered into the Bourbon Daily log that Kathy likes ding dong. So
I would like to know who is not a fan of the ding dong.
I like ding dongs. Yeah.
See? When they used to come wrapped in the aluminum foil.
Yeah. Imagine the date. Imagine the date. They got the ding dongs, and they're like, imagine the guy that comes in and like, I got the new one, the ho ho. We'll put it next to the ding dong. We think anybody will get it? And it'll be like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, for me, it was always like, what's the thing I can get the most of right now?
Most. Okay.
Now, if you're letting me go back and get multiple snack cakes, I have a list.
Okay.
There's going to be a list.
All right.
There's going to be like, well, first I'm starting with the ding dong, obviously.
Yeah, I like the ding dong
raisin,
too.
You go with the ding dong, and then you may the next pick may be the raisin cream pies.
Oh, just stop it.
Oh,
This is going
I like the zingers, the red zingers.
the red
Zingers are good. They're top notch.
I'll tell you what I always like, and I'm going to select the ding dongs because that's what they're gonna. I assume that was on the table. That's what I'll go with. But
It was on the table, yes. Ding dongs were on the table for choice, yes.
the one I've been chasing, and it'll never come back at this point, but every once in a while, when I was younger, and we're going back probably 20 years now, but every once in a while, those little fruit pies that they do, and they got the cherry and the apple, which are They used to do a strawberry
wax
one
paper?
from time to time.
And
the wax paper.
like
They used
Hostess,
to-
maybe.
Yeah, the Hostess pies. They would do a strawberry one from time to time. That thing was fantastic. Now, if I eat it now, it'll probably be
delicious.
terrible. But in my mind, those things are still great. And I always look. Like when I'm into like a gas station, I'll be like, I wonder if
I want to say they did a pineapple one too. That was
Really?
like,
damn
fucking
it, I'd like
delicious.
to try that.
I might
Yeah.
be making that up. I'm pretty sure it's true.
Fucking great
They're
idea.
like 5,000 calories, but goddamn were they
God
good.
damn it, they're good.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I love those things back in the day. They need to bring back the strawberry. If anybody has any connections, bring back the strawberry. Fantastic. But I have to go with the ding dong. That's one I know I could find on the table. And I
It
like
is a
the
pineapple. I
They
didn't make
did
it.
They did have
Pick it up.
pineapple. Yeah, there you go. There you
Lenny
go.
frequents a lot of gas stations, so that makes sense.
Lenny knows. Lenny knows. All right, Lenny, what would you choose? You're at this party with Tim, and they're like dessert time, and it's just snack cakes on the table.
But they're all vegan.
Well,
course,
then I would
of
say
course.
no to all of them.
No,
But,
bullshit. You're the only vegan we know. We gotta get insight from you.
Look, how about this? Let's just say I'm the closest thing to a vegan you know. Actually, that's not what I do.
That is fair.
Yeah, I would say if we're talking Little Debbie's, because that was brought up, I'm not the biggest Little Debbie fan, but I'm also not a hater. It's not my go-to. But of all the Little Debbie's options, I think the Swiss rolls would be my go-to.
Okay, the
Which
Swiss
is also
roll.
the ho-ho.
Is that how?
That's
Yeah.
a ho-ho.
Okay.
It's a chocolate covered ho. Yeah, it was Little Debbie's version. Would you like
Okay.
bite the chocolate off and then unroll it and everything like that? And like I'd be that fat kid unrolling that thing, licking the cream off, doing the whole
yeah.
thing.
Oh.
Tim,
I'd
you
have a
ever get-
whole process on that one.
I would not do that to a Swiss roll, but I've been known as a child to do that to a Pop Tart in terms of like pulling off the top, which I don't
Oh.
care.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very underrated.
Yeah,
Totally.
and put them in the toaster too. Don't.
100%.
No.
put it in toast.
Yeah, you want to put them in the toaster. They're better. McNew denies this, but they're better in the toaster.
No.
No, you can't say no.
Rush to
That's
school
like
every
saying-
day. That's what that means.
That's like
Yeah.
saying I like a cold meatball sandwich better than a warm one.
No,
Right.
because Pop-Tarts are efficient. They already come in a little package. You eat them on the car or the bus when you're shuffled out the door because you don't have time. If you're using a toaster, make some damn toast. Pop-Tarts
All right.
are to-go snacks.
No,
And they're
well,
better.
you can
This
take
is
it
on the
to go
list,
after you toast it. Take it to go.
I think
We're
it
gonna do
depends
a
on
blind
the flavor.
tasting.
I think s'mores must be toasted.
No, you can freeze those. They're really good frozen.
Yeah, well, that's like
Frozen.
saying Snickers must be frozen. Like,
Yeah.
these all have their
But if you
designated.
get the strawberry ones without icing,
No,
Who's
why
going
would
to
you
get that? How
buy-
old are you to get it without the icing? What are you,
Oh
70?
God!
That's
yeah.
bullshit. You get the
Practically.
icing on there.
yourself? Why would you buy that? That's
Yeah.
What are you, Al Qaeda? That's
You
ridiculous.
mental patient? Fucking sociopath, Kathy.
Oh,
There's a true crime waiting to be written about you, isn't there?
yeah, that's horrible.
All this bullshit aside, all these snacks suck compared to
Real desserts, but yes.
no, what are they called? The Tasty Cakes butterscotch crimpets.
Really?
guys-
I've never had those. Never had them. No.
I don't want to say it's a Philadelphia thing, but the factory is in Philadelphia. but I'm sure they're distributed more widely. Like,
Sure.
they probably-
Tasty cakes, they're in the gas stations. Yeah.
Yes.
And they
Go
they
for
look-
it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying I would do
Butterscotch
this
crimpet.
anytime soon.
Get the butterscotch strumpet. You'll
No,
love
crimp it, not scrump it.
What do
Butterscotch.
you like?
What?
Like, he's so highbrow
Yeah.
too. Please,
It's
it's not strumpet.
it's like a kind of like a vanilla sponge cake, like shaped
Yeah.
like I don't know, like crimped. For
Oh.
thus the name
like
crimpet
it's like a strumpet. It's shaped, but
with
it's
butterscotch
crimped.
icing on top.
It's crimped.
Yes.
I do like butterscotch. Yeah, that would probably go good with bourbon. That one. That's,
Yeah.
all the
That's a
snack
great
cakes. All the snack cakes, that probably goes best with bourbon.
I'm gonna try to
The
pick some up
next
next
class.
week. On
Yeah,
these.
this could be a class, Steve. Snack cakes
Yeah,
and bourbon.
snack cakes
snack
and
cakes and
bourbon.
bourbon. Yeah.
It's a great fun.
There it is.
Yeah, that is a great class.
You know,
Snack
and
cakes
just
and
to
bourbon.
add to that,
We're gonna list that one tomorrow. Yeah.
So we serve Twinkies at Deerhammer at the tasting room, and we have these little like you've probably seen them, but I think they're for cupcakes, but they're little injectors like pipettes, but they're short.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yep.
you could suck up some bourbon and shoot it into the.
Yeah. Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah,
Snack cakes and bourbon, though. I like that.
I think
I mean,
that's an event.
Fosnot has his dream of doing ice cream and bourbon. So, and he's been asking for this. I wanted to do it. And we finally put it on the calendar because he's like, I'm going to call these ice cream shops. This will be cool. We'll have a bunch of, he hasn't done shit. And that's coming up in like 2 weeks. It's going to be a fucking nightmare. How do you do the ice cream? Is it just one and then you just eat the bourbon? I don't even know how he's going to do this.
You
It's
gotta
gonna be
do
a nightmare. And what'll happen too, the day of that motherfucker will be like, oh, my tummy, you're going to have to do the class for me tonight.
Oh,
It's
I'm
gonna
really
be-
sick. I gotta stay home.
yeah, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? I don't know how to do this.
There's an easy cop out option. Just like pick 3 awesome different Ben and Jerry's flavors, pair them to bourbons, done. And I'm not saying
And it's no go Grater's ice cream out of Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. Grater's ice cream, black cherry chocolate chip. You're welcome. The whole audience,
I'm
you are
pretty
welcome.
sure
We don't have that
Steve's
in
gonna
St.
have Ted Drew's.
Yeah.
I will find a way to ship it to you then. Now this is going to happen. Black cherry chocolate chunk or chocolate chip chocolate is spectacular.
But
So
I'm
it's
with
got to be Ted
I-
Drew's.
with Ben and
Custard.
Jerry's. You don't go wrong with Ben and Jerry's.
that's what I'm saying. You're right.
And
Yeah.
they have fun names that are just fun to say.
So how does he do
American
it?
Dream.
Does he scoop
Well,
it at
here's
the
what
beginning?
you
of
actually
the
have to do, Steve. I've got the solution.
Okay.
You get those ice creams that you used to get like when it was ice cream day in school, and it's like a paper cup with like a disgustingly powdery vanilla ice cream and a
Sounds
wooden
awesome.
Oh,
spoon.
yeah. And it has like little swirlies in it. My
You
grandma-
pull the
and you
little
just-
top off with the tab and everything. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's the easiest thing.
That's
Just-
what I'll be doing when I have to fill in for this thing.
You have
I
to-
guarantee you that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, because you can do chocolate, butterscotch, maybe it's caramel, and there's a strawberry one. I don't like strawberry with bourbon, so never good. But it's
Yeah,
you can do
well,
all this.
That's what I'll do.
Strawberry and single malt may work well.
Yeah,
You get that
100%.
stupid wooden little spoon
yeah,
thing.
the wooden,
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah,
yeah,
spoon.
terrible. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
the
what I'll be using.
texture on that on your ugh.
But you do have to buy people plastic spoons because some people don't like wood touching their teeth. Like, you
Perfect.
gotta-
That's where I'm going to get it. And I'm going to be like, this is Jim's deal. I apologize for this. This is a Fosnot.
At least buy the
Incorporated.
plastic spoons.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I
nothing.
got to tell you, Lenny, you've redeemed yourself for my comment about you sprinkling honey on grass and eating it.
Then he comes
I
up
also
with the
had a
strumpet.
vision.
Yeah.
I also had a vision of you
Perfect.
sprinkling fresh ground cacao on oak leaves while you're eating it and wrapping it together as well.
You know,
So-
when I'm on vacation, I eat dessert.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's my rule.
All right. Yeah, when
Anthony
you were
Bourdain
in
rule.
St. Louis,
Have the
you
dessert.
You ate gooey butter cake in St. Louis.
I did,
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Nothing you want to eat every day by any means.
Yeah.
But
No, I won't.
not that you
If
wouldn't
they
because it's delicious. But, yeah.
Gooey butter cake ice cream. Is there anybody local doing that?
The
Yeah.
donut
Oh, yeah.
shop next door to us
Yeah.
is doing gooey
Yeah.
butter cake donuts.
But I want it in ice cream.
Oh,
That's
when are you bringing those into the shop? I don't have those. Bring that into the shop. Fuck yeah. Kathy never brings in anything good. No, she's just like, oh,
Just
put me on the list.
myself.
Put me
Just
on the list
herself
of top
showing up as
customers.
an
I'm here.
event.
I'm here. Put me on the list. Yes. So, oh, and then she
I
gets
didn't
there.
know I was required to.
Well, I would bring you something nice if I
Bring
if I had
ties.
access to anything. Yeah, I don't have anything nice, so I'm at the shop all the time.
You better
Or here.
watch out. You might get a bag of dicks.
Oh God, that's all for Lenny. though.
Rainbow ones.
Yeah.
There's rainbow ones on there, Kathy. They're on
Yeah.
sale.
No,
Penny
so
off.
They're closing them out. Penny off. Yeah.
What
All
is-
right.
Break the bank on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let me close this one off. I will
Close
say
it out.
the whole Hostess and Little Debbie thing was a hit. I had people asking, "Can I take the rest of the box? You're gonna eat?" I said, "By all means." People were acting like kids, and for the better for worse, the folks that were like hating me not having a cake with the graduate picture of the graduate and everything, they all shut up real quick once they got an idea of the ding dongs and the ho hos. So that was good.
Oh, yeah.
It was a hit. It was a nice switch and nice pivot, as they would say in the corporate world, by the general, and nice easy cleanup, single serves. It was a good call. So party planners, think ahead.
I think
That's
it's
unique.
genius.
I didn't answer, but I'm going for the Hostess cupcake. Those are my jam. I love
Hostess
this.
cupcake. Hostess
A little
cupcake.
swirl circle icing on top.
Did you
Yeah.
peel the icing off the top and eat it like a?
Oh, you do the whole thing.
I
Yep.
have
Oh, yeah.
I eat the bottom first, and then I eat both sides. of
Yeah.
the
No, that's the way you do it. That's the
Yeah,
proper
that's a
way to
great
do
call.
it. McNew, that's
Yep.
the way you do it. Yeah.
I
That's
just
the way
Then
you
you
do
have
it.
a dessert
Last
within the dessert. So
It
the
is.
dessert
Yes.
is the
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. McNew got
Filled
something
the
right.
small
there.
talk. This was spectacular.
The orange.
I don't even know if we need to talk about UPROXX.
UPROXX. Well, we still got to talk about UPROXX. Boy, they're the awesomeness, by the way. Yellowstone, single barrel from the ABV Barrel Shop. I'll go first. Here we go.
Oh wow,
Swat on the set. Oh,
it's cute.
That was cute.
It's a 50.
I'm hoping that's enough. I'm hoping there's a lot of samples and stuff like that.
You know, Lenny's had his bottle queued up since the end of the last show.
Oh,
Alright.
man.
They say the same thing.
All right,
He's
let me
like
go ahead.
measuring it. He's like
Let me
looking
go
at
ahead.
it at different
Yeah.
angles.
Yeah.
He's got his micrometer out to make sure
His
that it's
chronometer.
facing on the.
Yeah, brand new, of course. So, okay, Lenny, go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, ready to dash some dreams. I've got the seal box pick of Deer Hammer Straight
Oh
Bourbon.
God,
Single
Oh,
barrel.
geez.
I have to
Here we
invoice Sealbox for all this plugging you're doing.
Yeah, I'm
All right,
trying
go.
to move some whiskey.
Okay,
Okay. All right.
explosive.
Cheers, everybody.
Right?
Y'all quit. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, we're still gonna follow this thing through. Kathy, what do you got?
I'm gonna pull out that much of a Yellowstone.
Okay, all right.
It
Looks like a
should
bottle
be a
kill
last
time.
show pour,
Yeah.
but you know.
Pair great with the ding dong.
Okay, Basie, I like it. All right, McNew, what do you got?
Right. So these corks are so pretty, but they don't do shit after the first time. And it's hard truce, sweet mash rye, mash bill one.
Okay,
Great whiskey.
It is.
Great whiskey, beautiful cork, but not popping.
Nothing there on the pop. Nothing on the pop. Lenny,
Brian, you got
has
to work
the
on
lead.
that cork pop.
Tim stands between you and victory, and I'm sure Tim's going to pull this one out. So what do you got?
I got to trying to snap this from the jaws of defeat. I've got this Hidden Barn straight bourbon whiskey from the ABV Barrel Shop. This is still the hometown pick. I would say very well loved.
Yeah,
working
more
on
than
it
halfway
myself.
gone. More than halfway gone.
Yeah, so it's going to be
No,
squeaky.
nothing there. Nothing there. So Lenny wins it again. Cheers, gang. Lenny on a roll.
Congrats,
Lenny.
seal box.
Lenny's fighting with a vengeance.
Yeah. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we have a list from UPROXX of the best value bourbons. We'll share that and then we'll pair them up and we will do a bracket challenge. We'll get to that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we have a bracket challenge determining the best value bourbon from an UPROXX article.
Yes, we do. So, UPROXX says that these are the best value bourbons on the market right now. Their definition of value bourbon, again, that's not any sort of official definition, so they defined it as under $50. Here's our contenders. Russell's Reserve 10-year-old bourbon, Woodford Double Oaked, Bullet 10-year-old bourbon, Evan Van Williams. Evan Van Williams, it's new, Evan Van Williams. Yes. Single barrel from Evan Van Williams. And then Green River Bourbon, Eagle Rare, Bardstown Bourbon Company's Bottle and Bond. That's the one that won from them, by the way. And then George Dickel Bottle and Bond, the Tennessee Whiskey. And they have a Bottle and Bond bourbon. Why? I don't know how that's not on the list, but when that one's on there, again, or 100 other possible things. But yeah, that's the list. So there you go. Those are the experts in the industry telling us that is the top 8 value bourbons that are available right now, even though one is a Tennessee whiskey. But we define that as bourbon, so it's okay. All right. Here's how they pair up. Woodford Double Oaked will be taking on Eagle Rare. You got a couple of heavy hitters going at one another in round one. The Dickel Tennessee Whiskey Bottle and Bond will be taking on the Bullet 10-year, and then you got a couple of duds going after one another in round one. Then you got Russell's 10-year taking on Evan Van Williams, the single barrel. And then finally, Green River Bourbon taking on Bardstown Bourbon Company's Bottled and Bond Bourbon. Round number one, up first is going to be Kathy. We're talking Woodford Double Oaked versus Eagle Rare. What do you think is the better value bourbon?
Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare goes. So I love Eagle Rares on this list because to me, value bourbon. There's also has to be something when you're talking about value.
Availability.
Accessibility should be a key part of that. Because if you say value, I mean, is there any better value than George T. Stagg? I mean, at $99 a bottle. So if we're talking just retail price, that's probably the best value in bourbon. Why is that not on the list? But I think accessibility has to play a part. It does not, apparently, in this article. And we got to play with what we've been dealt. And Eagle Rare goes up 1-0. All right, Tim, what do you think?
Wait, Eagle Rare versus whom?
Woodford Double Oaked.
I'm Woodford Double Oaked.
Woodford
Just
Double
for
Oaked.
that same purpose, availability.
Has tied it up. Lenny, what do you think? Woodford Double Oaked or Eagle Rare?
So I know I'm in the minority, but I'm not the biggest Eagle Rare fan, even if it's available everywhere, which it's not.
Right.
I don't love the standard Woodford release. It's okay, but I do like Woodford Double Oak a lot, so I think I would nod to that one.
Okay, Woodford Double Oaked. That means Double Oaked has gone up 2-1 on the verge of ending this thing. McNew, what do you think? Woodford Double Oaked or Eagle Rare?
Yeah, so it's a dumb thing where I live where Eagle Rare gets put into raffles, like into the rare raffles at some of our liquor stores. It's dumb
Everywhere.
So I'm going to go with Woodford just because I can walk into Meijer and buy it off the damn shelf.
Woodford Double Oaked moves on. I don't disagree with that. I don't think Eagle Rare should win this thing, and I don't know that I would have had Woodford Double Oak beat it, but I'm glad they're knocked out. All right, round number 2. Tim, you're first. Dickel Tennessee Whiskey Bottled and Bond takes on Bulleit 10-year bourbon.
I am not a fan of Bulleit at all. So I will take my I'll take my Flintstone vitamins with George Dickel.
All right, Lenny, what do you think? Dickel Tennessee Whiskey Bottled and Bond or Bulleit 10-year bourbon?
I'm still waiting to celebrate the Bulleit release from their own distillery. When that happens, I will
Great
celebrate.
point, Lenny. Yep.
That's just how I roll. Until then, Dickel's going to get the nod.
Dickel goes up 2-1. McNew, what do you think? Dickel Tennessee Whiskey Bottled and Bond or Bulleit 10-year Bottled and Bond bourbon?
I really don't love either of these choices, but I will give it some life and do Bulleit 10-year.
Bulleit 10-year. I'm the same way on both of these two. I feel like this is the weakest in the field. The two got combined against one another, and I'm just going to try to keep it interesting. I'll go Bulleit 10-year to throw it to Kathy. Let's make her work and earn her paycheck tonight. Kathy, Dickel Tennessee Whiskey Bottled and Bond or Bulleit 10-year bourbon?
I'm going to be checking the mail for that paycheck. Gosh, this is really hard.
It is.
This is like...
This is a nightmare. Yeah.
Which nightmare? I'll be nice. Which nightmare?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which nightmare will you pick? And I just, because I can't get behind Bulleit, I'm going to pick George Dickel.
Dickel, Tennessee Whiskey, Bottled and Bond moves on, and Kathy is the one who did that, folks.
That's right.
Kathy's the one who did it. She's a fan
I'm
of
also
Ding
the
Dong.
only one who voted for Eagle Rare, so obviously, everyone should ask me.
All right. Russell's 10-year versus Evan Van Williams single barrel. It's a new product no one knows about but me, apparently. Round number 3, I won't use that joke anymore, but it's lost its luster. Russell's 10-year versus Evan Williams single barrel. What do you think? Round number 3, Lenny's going to be first.
Russell's 10-year, whatever it was. I forgot.
Russell's
10-year,
12
whatever.
or 10, either one. Either one.
Russell's Van 10-year, I think is what you were looking for.
That's
Larry.
exactly what I was looking for.
Yes. Russell's Van 10-year. All right. McNew, you're next.
So those Evan Williams single barrels, I hate that they're only available in Kentucky now because I used to be able to hear it.
They're good, and they are a value
Love
pick
them.
for sure.
They were less
they're
than
good.
$20.
Love them.
And that's what I would consider a value bourbon. I still do. So if I'm in Kentucky, I will grab some. So I'm going to go Evan Williams.
Evan Williams. I'm going to put into play, again, my parameter, because in my mind, accessibility has to play into this, and it's Kentucky-only release versus something that's widely available and can be found on shelves, including at places like grocery stores. Russell's 10-year. I'm going to go Russell's. So that means Russell's goes up 2-1 over Evan Van Williams. Oh, I said it again. I said I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
You can't help yourself now.
Yeah.
Show
Kathy,
the hot mess already. Just keep it going. It's funny.
Just keep it going.
So,
Kathy, what do you think? Russell's or Evan Van Williams?
in the heart, since the last round was sent to me as a tiebreaker, I'm going to pick what would make it a tiebreaker.
Evan Williams.
Evan Van Williams over the Russell's Van 10-year. Just so someone else has to decide.
All
That's
right.
great strategy, Kathy. Well played. Well played.
Lenny Van Eckstein, what do you think?
Didn't Lenny start out? Aren't I the tiebreaker?
Tim Van tiebreaker.
I did that off the top of my head.
It's Tim Van tiebreaker.
Lenny, I could have let you handle out there and just hang out there and everything like that. But you know what? Remember that. Remember that. I came and saved you.
Right. So, Tim, it goes to you. Russell's or Evan Williams?
Yeah, I hate that they took the Evan Williams single barrel off the shelves that I could get every time. So I'm all day long Russell's Van Reserve 10-year bourbon.
Russell's 10-year. All right. Next up is Green River Bourbon versus Bardstown Bourbon Bottled and Bond. Specifically, their Bottled and Bond product. Round number 4. McNew, you're first.
So I like Bardstown. I like what they're doing. I do not consider them a value though, right? Like they're always
Right.
they're not a value bourbon, okay? But Green River, now that they're making their own stuff, Green River's killing it. And I love their bottle. That little horseshoe on the bottom's cool. They make a good product. I'm gonna go Green River. It's like $30.
$30. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to just agree with everything McNew said there. I never consider Bardstown Bourbon Company anything they do value bourbon. Good products, but they wouldn't make my value picks on anything. And Green River, I think, is one of the best deals out there, and it's good stuff. And the bottle's cool. I like Green River, so I'm going to go Green River, meaning they are suddenly up 2-0 based solely on McNew's eloquent argument that she made.
So eloquent.
See what she can do when she's sober? How about that? How about
amazing.
that?
You should see her hydrating out there, folks.
Oh yeah,
It's amazing.
She's been hydrating. So yeah.
I go through like 3 of these a day. Do you drink a lot of water?
Okay, all right, Kathy. Here's where we're at. Green River Bourbon's up 2-0 over Bardstown Bourbon Company's Bottle and Bond.
You know, a part of me wants to play the list as UPROXX has presented it, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Green River's going through.
Green River makes it through. That means they will be in the final 4. All right, here's what our final 4 does look like. Woodford Double Oaked taking on Dickel Bottle and Bond that Kathy threw in there. That's ridiculous. Their Tennessee whiskey. Then Russell's 10-year versus Green River. All right, round number 5. I'm first. I don't like this matchup. I'm famously not a big fan of Woodford Double Oak, but I think they got to get it over the Dickel. I mean, if I had to choose one, I'm hanging out at any of your houses and you're like, this is what I got. I got this Dickel and I got this Woodford. I would just take the Woodford. You know, it's not my favorite by any means, but in this example, out of the 2 choices, it's going to be the one I pick. So Woodford Double Oak goes up 1-0. Kathy, you're next.
I, unlike Steve, think the Woodford Double Oaked is kind of fun. And
Okay.
I'll drink it. So I'm putting it through.
All right, Tim, here's where we are. Woodford Double Oaked is up 2-0 over Dickel. What do you think? Tim is frozen. And
I'm frozen. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
you're
frozen. I'm frozen in thought.
Okay.
I'm frozen in thought because I would grab the Double Oaked over the Tennessee whiskey.
All right. Woodford.
Yes, we're going to close it out. Woodford
Double
Double
Oaked
Oaked.
moves on. We'll be in the finale. There you go.
Unbelievable.
All right. Russell's 10-year
Amazing.
versus Green River. What do we think here? Russell's 10-year versus Green River, round number 6. Kathy's first.
Russell's.
Russell's
Yeah.
goes up 1-0. Tim?
I have
what
it
do
on
you
my shelf.
Okay. All right. Russell's goes up 1-0.
Between
Tim?
these two, I wholeheartedly agree with McNew on the case for Green River. However, the better value bourbon at 10 years is Russell's Van Reserve 10-year bourbon.
I agree. Yeah, that's it's well thought out. Lenny, here's where we're at. Russell's is quickly up 2-0 over Green River. What do you think?
I think everything that's been said is factual, and I think that it's probably only a number of, like a year or so before we can no longer find Russell's Reserve on the shelf.
Right.
I would agree.
Just predicting the future, unfortunately.
The clock is ticking.
Yeah, and that's not why I'm picking it. It is a fucking phenomenal product. So, yeah.
There you go.
How it is.
All right. So that means Russell's 10-year bourbon moves on. We're taking on Woodford Double Oaked, round number 7. All the marbles. Here we go. McNew, you're first. Woodford Double Oaked or Russell's 10-year?
So I do like Woodford Double Oaked, but I don't think it has like a bourbon profile. I feel like it's a dessert bourbon. So I feel like it's a whole different category. So I'm going to go Russell's for that reason.
Russell's. Okay. Yeah, I think Russell's is one of the finest products out there. I think it's a great value bourbon. And yeah, a 10-year whiskey, I mean, that's hard to compete against. I think it's great. So I'm going to go Russell's. And Russell's is up 2-0. Kathy, it goes to you. Woodford Double Oak, which you have expressed a fondness for, versus Russell's 10-year. This is a tough matchup. Please do not take it lightly.
I am going to just let Tim and Lenny know. Show's over. I'm going Russell's.
Russell's wins
Well
it. Russell's 10-year-old bourbon, the best value pick. And again, we did not follow UPROXX. Hard to
No,
believe.
UPROXX killed it. They nailed it.
UPROXX.
First try.
UPROXX. There you go. There you go. So God love them. It's good folks over there. So there you go. There it is. Congrats to the team over at Wild Turkey. Your Russell's 10-year bourbon has won the whole thing tonight. Very, very cool. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KKCaskStrength.
Tim, how about you?
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
Lenny.
You know what? Forget all like where you can find me. I just want to say, if anybody does ship me a bag of dicks, as was discussed in the previous episode, I'm going to put them all in the barrel. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make like a barrel-aged dick old-fashioned. I'm going to sell it to the ABV Barrel Shop, or to the speakeasy. Don't sniff, don't tell, whatever it's called.
Don't sniff, don't tell.
And you can all sip on that barrel of dicks, if that happens.
How can you make us buy something?
It'll happen. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about the details later.
He'll roofie us and use our thumbprint to be like, yeah, look at that. They signed us. So
I don't know,
Sign
blackmail
off on
or
it.
something. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. So there you go. That's what he used his plug section for, just to threaten the
We
audience.
can't let you say anything else.
Yeah.
No more seal box for you.
Yeah. You
I just
got
had this vision of Lenny being showered with gummy dicks right now.
I do too.
Pouring all over him. And he's just with his mouth wide open.
Yeah.
barrel bummed
So many gummy dicks showing up. It's just imagine
They're going to be using the cocktail. They're going to be used at the Deer Hammer cocktail bar. I'm like,
You know, at
you're
the
going to
ABV
put them on little sticks and everything like
Yeah.
that for garnishes.
Yeah, when they have to bring in you ever see when the mail carrier has to bring the tote, they got all this piled up with dicks, just so many dicks. They're like, oh, Mr. Eckstein, here's your dicks for the day. Yeah.
Turner Rother doesn't get in on this. I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
He needs
I
to.
agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah. So I hope it doesn't happen. That would be humiliating. I hope that people don't listen to this going to, what is it, McNew? Send a
Ship
bag.
a bag of dicks.com.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well-
Don't go to shipabagdicks.com.
If you do, I hope the
Shipabagdicks.com.
citizens of St. Louis will be sipping on a dick old fashioned.
What, Steve? What if they all end up at the barrel shop?
Oh, they're going to go to Lenny's
Lenny
place.
comes,
Oh, wait,
Lenny
they
comes
might
in with a satchel.
Yeah.
Then they'll have a tasting class.
Yeah.
We're gonna do whiskey and gummy dicks.
Green
Yeah.
gummy dick pairs
That'll
very
be,
well with
that'll
this
be
bourbon.
Jim's new class.
Paired with butterscotch crickets.
Which flavor gummy dick goes with this bourbon?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
You know what?
Yeah.
You need more women in the shop. This is
You think that's going to
how
draw?
you get the trailing
This is how I
spouse.
get.
How you're
This is
gonna
how I
do
get
it.
more women.
This is how you get. It's a bachelorette party. Gummy dicks and a bourbon pairing. Bachelorette.
This is it.
Bachelorette gonna be a vibe.
And you
It's
can
fun.
rent out the speakeasy for private events
Yeah.
anytime you like.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get
So
a
for all of
partnership
you
with
who
the-
clicked ahead and missed all of this when the sign-offs come in to go to the next episode,
Right.
you missed some damn
Yeah.
good content here.
So,
This
Always-
is where the magic happens.
Always stick through the plugs area because you never know what's going to happen. It's always good. All right, McNew, how about you? Where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, that thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. We put our previous shows or blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us at the ABV Barrel Shop, where we may be serving up a bag of dicks cocktail or something. I don't know. Lenny claims we got to buy it. I don't know how he's going to force us, but we'll see. So check us out, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with the national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.